Kia ora, Year 10. This is the worksheet we looked at in class yesterday about Janelle planning the birthday party, and I'm making it into a YouTube video because lots of you wanted me to. This is a long word problem, so I've turned the question into a PowerPoint. But what I want to do before we start on the maths is I'm going to read through the worksheet, and I want to show you how we can do some skimming and scanning. Because one of the hardest things in maths word problems is figuring out what you're being asked to do and how to break it down into steps. Now, lots of you are doing that really well, but there's a few things that we need to go over. So the first thing is to make sure that you read through the whole problem before you get going. And lots of you yesterday didn't read slowly enough to figure out the overall question. So I suggest that you use a highlighter or a pen or something to pick out the key phrases. Try not to get bogged down in the detail before you've gone through the problem once. Okay, so Janelle's planning a birthday party for her 8-year-old cousin Jessica, and she's raised the money by doing a leaflet dropping job. She gets 5 cents for every 10 leaflets she delivers, and she's delivered 10,000 leaflets. Right, so Janelle's mother has agreed to pay Janelle a matching amount of money towards Jessica's party. So on a first read through, I'd probably underline what the point is. Janelle's planning a party. And then I would note this bit here is about how much money she's going to make. So we are going to want to come back to that. 5 cents for every 10 leaflets. Sounds like we might have to do some working out. And she's delivered 10,000 leaflets. So on we go. Okay, Jessica's invited 6 friends to the party, and her mother insists that she also invite her younger brother Tama. Janelle's working out her budget for the party. Now, we need to think here, we're going to need to come back here and think about how many people are coming. But right now we can see that that information is to do with how many people are coming. Right, so now we get into the stuff that is going to be bought. So she decides to buy the cake from Countdown. So there's information about a cake. It costs $19.20 excluding GST. Fanta usually costs $3.60, but it's on sale at a discount of 15%, and she buys 2 bottles. So that's about the Fanta. Right, on my first read through, I'm not going to start trying to do calculations about whether I have to put GST in or take it out. I'm just trying to read to get a sense of the problem. So now we know that she's planning the party, there's a number of kids coming, and she's going to buy some stuff. So we're now thinking, well, we're going through the stuff. Cake, Fanta, Just Juice is on special. So this sentence is about the juice. It's reduced by 10% from its usual price, and she buys 2 bottles. And now, I'm sorry about the PowerPoint. The worksheet you've got tells you that chips are $1.30 per small bag, and so Janelle buys a bag per child. So we've got cake, Fanta, Just Juice and chips. We're going to have to do something with that information. On the next slide, we're told that Jessica wants to have the party at Laser Force, and the cost is $6 per child with a 10% discount if the group is 5 or more people. So again, this is about one of the costs of the party. On your first read through, don't start trying to work out the discount or if there is going to be a discount. Just do a read through once first. And now we come to the most important bit in the whole thing, which is our question. Does Janelle have enough money for the party, or does she have to deliver some extra leaflets? So looking at your worksheet, thinking about how you're going to structure your answer, we're going to have to figure out 2 things. And this is still a very big picture. We're going to have to figure out Janelle's income or money, and we're going to have to figure out the cost. And then we're going to have to figure out the difference. Now, yesterday I gave you a frame to help you do your working out and identifying each component, but usually you won't get that. So on the next slides, I'm going to show you how we can set out our answer. Right, so the first thing we've got our income. So a good habit to get into is to write down the thing you're working out, underline it, and a colon, and off we go. So thing number 1 from the leaflets. Well, she doesn't get 5 cents for every leaflet. She gets 5 cents for every 10 leaflets. So we need to take the 10,000 she delivers and divide that by 10. So we can call those leaflet bundles. For each bundle, she gets 5 cents. So altogether she gets $50. She gets money from Mum. Janelle's mother has agreed to pay Janelle a matching amount of money. So matching means the same. So we might just write down $50 and then in brackets matching. Total income. Underline, colon. 50 plus 50 equals 100. Right, now we're going to put that aside until the end of the problem, and we're going to start working out the costs. Right, so another heading telling the reader what we're doing. Costs. Well, what are the costs going to depend on? Well, the most important thing will be how many kids. So number of kids. Now you have to read closely to get this information, and you have to do some inferencing, just like you do in all your other subjects. So we know Jessica has invited 6 friends, but her mum is making her invite her brother Tama, so that's +1. But Jessica probably wants to be in the party herself as well. So that's 6 plus 1 plus 1. So that's 8 kids. Now, some of you argued that Janelle probably wanted to eat the party food and go as well. So if you want to assume that, I think that's okay here, and you could say 9. But you'd want to tell me, I have assumed Janelle is going too. I'm going to do this with 8 kids, because I think that's the best thing to assume here. Right, now, what's the cake going to cost? Now we go back to the worksheet and we slowly read through the information about the cake. So the cake costs $19.20 excluding GST. So including GST it will be $19.20 times 1.15. Right, so that equals $22.08. Right, remember when I'm putting GST on, it's always 15%. The prices we pay in New Zealand must include GST. If you're given a price excluding GST and you're asked what someone pays for it at countdown, you have to add the GST in. Right, the next thing is the Fanta. Right, so we go back and we read really closely what's being asked. Fanta usually costs $3.60 per 2 litre bottle, including GST. But it is on sale at a discount of 15%. She buys 2 bottles. Okay, so if you want to, you could work out both bottles in one go. It's going to be 2 times $3.60. Right, that's the normal price, but it's on sale for a discount of 15%. So we know we can use the multiplier approach to get our answer. So I'll just get that and then we'll go over that bit of maths again. Right. So what's going on here is that this in the box is the price of one discounted bottle. So that's $3.60. The 0.85 is 1, take away the discount percentage. Okay, and we did lots of those in class earlier, but now we're putting them into a bigger problem. So that's my Fanta. Right, next slide. We've got just juice and chips coming up next. Right, juice. Right, now we read, what do we know about the juice? It's on special. It's reduced by 10% from its usual price of $4.60. And she buys 2 bottles. So it's going to be 2 times $4.60 times 0.9 equals $8.28. Right, so notice again, I'm doing my multiplier approach to find a discount. 1 minus 10%, which is 0.1 as a decimal, gives me 0.9. Right, so that's my juice done. Next thing, chips. Right, nothing hard about this calculation at all. Chips are $1.30 per small bag, so she buys one bag for each child. Now we decided we had 8 kids coming, so it's just 8 times $1.30 equals $10.40. Right. Notice that even though that's a very straightforward calculation, I still want to see that you write this statement down. I don't ever just want to see $10.40. Maths is not about getting the answers on its own. Very occasionally it is, but usually we want to see how you've worked something out. Okay. Last thing I will do on the next, I'll do it here, laser force. Right, so I write down laser force, underline and colon. Go back to the document that you're working with and read the sentence about laser force. Jessica wants to have the party at Laser Force and the cost is $6 per child, with a 10% discount if the group is 5 or more people. So we're going to write down 10% discount since we have 8 people going, which means that my calculation will be, now you can do this in one step, so one person, $6 times 0.9 is $5.40. So 8 people, I'm just going to squeeze that into the bottom here, okay, so $8 times $5.40 is equal to $43.20. Right, so now I'm done with the individual stuff, and on the next slide I'm going to start to answer my overall question. Right, so I've got costs. Right, I have the first one, cake, Fanta, juice, chips. Don't like that red pen much, we'll change the colour, laser force. Right, and because I've done my setting out well earlier, it makes it really easy to pull the right numbers out. So cake, $22.08, Fanta, $6.12, juice, $8.28, chips, $10.40, laser force, $43.20. Right, add them all up and I get total. Now when I do that adding up, of course you're fine to do it on your calculator, but you can, it's such an easy list you could just do it by hand. You get $90.08. Income, $100. Income, takeaway cost, $100 minus $90.08, which is $9.92. Janelle can afford the party. So Janelle has enough money for the party. Alright, really, really important that you show your working in a way that's a bit like this, and that you make sure you answer the question at the very end. I've seen lots of good students do lots of good working and then forget what they were being asked to find out. So when you do your first read through, make sure that you have highlighted what is the question I'm being asked to answer. Okay, I hope that helped. We'll do some more of those in class next week. Thank you for watching.